జాతీయవాద జర్నలిజానికి అసలైన వేదిక నేషనలిస్ట్ హబ్ ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. నోటిఫికేషన్స్ కోసం బెల్ ఐకాన్ పై క్లిక్ చేయండి.
For the kind of work he has done, he's got an amazing body of work. Amazing. This is not his first book. He's done an enormous amount of work and straddling most important themes like dharma, economy, and leadership styles. So really very glad to have you here. Let me first tell you that I picked up the book. Friends, you have to pay attention to this because his book is completely different from the other books. So when I went through the book, I thought this book has something, a kind of an energy, and I started understanding energy kya hota hai. This is something like a kinetic energy. I was compelled to finish. Normally, sometimes I think I have attention deficit disorder. I can't finish a book, but it compelled me to finish. I think there's the energy that the book also gives is it propels you to go and cast your vote. Because I think the intention behind this book is to really choose Narendra Modi again, and that's exactly what it does. So let me compliment you on two important things. The first thing is, I have seen right from 2014, many books have been written on Modi ji, almost close to a dozen, and all of them have followed a certain pattern, like they are prosaic, they have a story, they have data, they have statistics, almost like a non-fiction book. But your book is completely different. It is very creative, it is illustrative, you have used artwork, you have used artists. And the most interesting thing that I saw, you also explained to them, is when this woman who's looking at a toilet, earlier I remember we worked in the entire scheme of these things during Manmohan Singh's time also. But now Modi ji, it's become possible. I want to compliment on this book for the simple reason that the illustration is so good that a woman wants to go to the toilet before Modi ji built the toilets. She has three things that comes to her mind. One is a snake, because she's carrying her mug of water and she has to go to the wilderness to defecate. A snake, a wild animal, and the third one is a wild man, because my friends, women used to be raped when they used to go there to defecate. That was the state before Modi ji decided to build these crores of toilets. So one picture tells you a whole bunch of story. So this is how beautifully he is done. It's completely different. And no wonder Bibek Debroy and Mohandas Pai praised you. I have read that. The second important thing about his book is, you must read it tonight. It is so comprehensive. It's unbelievably comprehensive for the simple reason that Prime Minister has done a notion of work. Unbelievable amount of work. But Shantanu ji, what has he done? He's covered the entire work, right from toilets to technology, housing to maybe holy shrines. You have taken economy and taken it to show how equity can be made possible. Defense to diplomacy. You've covered practically everything that there is to be covered. How beautifully he is covered, you should know. Friends, I'd like to share something. In that book, what I have done is, there are at least 7 to 8 pages on what has happened in the defense and how does the country get protected. I have taken pictures of that from the soft copy and sent it to a veteran, a man who retired as Major General. He reverted saying, what an amazing compilation of this. Ma'am, can you tell me from where this has come? That's how beautiful it is. Now, quickly we'll lapse into a few questions, and maybe you can just answer the way you want it. Most of the books we know today are, non-fiction books are, as I said, prosaic, long, whatever. But he has taken a different pattern of a cartoon, illustrative books meant for adults. Do you think Aruna will read something like this? Did you think there was a risk that you had taken?
I think I forgot to tell one detail. My mother-in-law is sitting here. I'm a Telugu alludu. And me and my... And I can follow Telugu, so if you want to gossip about me in Telugu, refrain. Me and my wife Shweta, we are homeschooling our kids. Madhvi Lataji is very famous for homeschooling our kids. So I have a 11-year-old son Abhiram and a 5-year-old daughter Nakshatra. We are homeschooling our kids. So when you homeschool a kid, you are more involved in parenting, right? Because and more involved in curriculum also. What excites them, what makes them joyous. So then I realized that what can connect to a child, right? And I think from there the idea came. And during Oxford I realized, when I stay in Oxford, there is a comic on Karl Marx, there is a comic on Che Guevara, Annie Frank, on 9/11 there is a comic, on Palestine there is a comic. And most of the topics you realize are very left-leaning. And you have to learn that their communication patterns are brilliant. So just take their pattern and use it to your commentaries. I think that was the that was the way I thought you should connect to the 2 crores young age voters.
I think, yeah.
If I can add one thing, I completely agree. I think we realized that when we started Apollo Hospital 40 years ago, most people knew everything about us. But one day we realized that the young people didn't. So we have an Amar Chitra Katha on the Apollo story.
That's very good. So, strangely, I think, imagine this book can appeal to an adult just as it can appeal to your grandchild. I think that is the spectrum it covers.
And also, currently, all the BJP spokesmen are also using it. So from there, range is quite wide.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, the second question is, when I opened the book and I read it, I saw, in the illustrations, I saw several emotions. Like, if we are Telugu speaking people, we say Shad Ruchulu, like, 6 types of tastes and 6 types of emotions. So I saw hopelessness, fear, worry, and then that getting transformed into bliss, joy, happiness, all those I saw. Did you ever think of including humor in the book?
In fact, whenever you say comic, right? Comic, what comes to mind is humor or exactly maybe satire. It's not, cartooning is not alien to political commentary. Cartoon strips is very common, but a full commentary was not possible. So, in fact, that was the advice given by Bibek Debroy ji, that it should not become boring, right? So that's why I added 2-3 elements. First, to fictional character. One is kind of looking like me, and one is whose name is Ravi. But people will realize who I'm talking about.
He looks very much like you, not kind of like you.
Yeah. So that's why I tried to add a humor and satire. That this guy is trying to probe me that why one should vote for Modi, and I'm trying to reply, and he's kind of poking me every now and then. And what about this? What about that? So that's the humor element I think I tried to, a satirical element tried to add.
I think you ended with humor.
Ended also with humor.
Absolutely ended with humor. Yeah. So one more question about the book is that which you answered in your speech now. There is this misconception, myth that Prime Minister is always flying around, he's going to different countries and he's just, he doesn't seem to be doing any work in India. That's a perception that, of course, people, non-believers have. And another misconception and a myth is that he goes to Diwali and goes to the soldiers, the Jawans, and spends Diwali, New Year Eve, and it's just, for optics. This is a wrong conception, but I would like to ask you, does your book break these myths? If I read your book, will I go away thinking that Modi ji has not done that, but he has done enormous good to the country?
In fact, you must have realized that Dr. Jaishankar has given multiple interviews in Hindi in last 6-7 months, right? From Aapki Adalat to Suril Chaudhary to recently Sushant Sinha. And someone asked कि जब आप प्लेन में आते जाते हैं तो काम करते हैं क्या? तो and Dr. Jaishankar ने तो सोते हैं क्या? And then he explains that how Narendra Modi is such a consensus builder. After every meeting and before every meeting, he gathers everyone and he says, "What's your opinion? What's your opinion? What's your opinion?" And then he comes to a consensus, right? And that has become an amazing part of Indian foreign policy. That before, when you remember that G20 was talked about by a taxi fellow and auto fellow also. Right? G20 चल रहा है, सड़क बंद है. G20 चल रहा है, event हो रहा है. He made foreign policy a drawing room discussion. Right? Hats off to him. And when he goes outside, the foreign premiers get scared that he can gather more people than a Biden or a Trump can gather. He can gather 50,000, 10,000 people in a foreign country. right? And he says कि आप लोग मेरे brand ambassador हो. पहले होता था brain drain हो रहा है, brain drain हो रहा है. I'm sure you must have realized how Jews use their power sitting in America. They are in every financial institution, and now Indians are also using their presence there.
Right.
It's not a brain drain. Now it's become a lobbying group sitting in US, sitting in Nairobi, sitting in Germany, sitting in US, right? Because now they're empowered. Because I have seen my prime minister, I have talked to my prime minister, I have a picture with my prime minister, right? So I think that connect when he goes abroad. Earlier, in fact, there is a very famous journalist called Ashok Shrivastava. He told the difference between earlier foreign trips and recent foreign trips. That clip gave viral. Earlier foreign trips, first of all, every journalist used to go in a government-funded flight. Now Narendra Modi says, like, if your channel funds you can come. So people do come. Earlier they used to get a lot of liquor bottles in their room. There are hardly one meeting in the morning, one meeting in the evening. Now their meetings start from 9, they end at 9, so they don't have any tourism time. They don't have foreign ministry cars to take them around. If you want to go around, you will go around.
Yeah.
In the first 2 years, it was little bit. See, if you take out anyone out of the comfort, right, it's a problem. But now they're reporting because they really want to report the country, right? I think that's why some of the people are miffed off because their luxuries are gone. The luxuries of foreign travels are gone. The foreign liquors and the foreign travels are gone. But when he goes outside, there are multiple meetings. Then there are meetings at the plane, and when he lands, he goes to the cabinet meeting. That's one thing. He's not a 73-year-old. Remember, recently he met 7 gamers. As she said, like, he connects with almost everyone. He met 7 gamers. Me and my wife was watching, and he kya hai, man? He's meeting with the gamers, he's meeting the VR set, and वो gamers के साथ में एक show में था. He's saying वो 10 मिनट में पूरा game सीख गए. And he was like almost among the top 50, top 100 people, right? जो उन्होंने game कभी देखा भी नहीं था. Why I'm saying so? I think he gave them 2 hours. Can you imagine? You also must be feeling restless because you're in election time. Can you imagine Narendra Modi spending 2 hours during election time with 7 gamers?
Yeah.
Right? So I think his connect with people is amazing. And the way he gets, because he gets up at 4 and sleep at 11. So he has just longer day. And he can, so I think that's how he manages his time. And he going abroad is like a bait to India.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has made anyone living outside of India the true ambassadors of the country. I think that is what he has done phenomenally. And for someone like me, who's last 30 years I've been traveling abroad on work, and I realized that Modi ji has, the minute you step into another country today, they ask you Modi's team. So he has created such an impact that people love you even if you go from anywhere.
I think I mentioned it briefly, but I will say it again, that many of us who studied abroad when we were young and how we were looked at, and what happens to our children now when they're studying abroad. I was also privileged to be, part of G20. The kind of energy that people are looking up to India, I think it's a golden opportunity, and this image will translate into economic well-being. This economic well-being will give us a greater ability to again keep giving benefits to the lowest person. Yeah. One of my favorite words in the entire, I think, BJP dictionary is Antodaya. I love that idea that they're focusing on the last man. And to add to that one point that you spoke about of the Awas Yojana and the housing, very few people know that 33% of the houses in that were given to minorities.
Yeah.
And here we're sitting in a situation where political parties are polarizing minorities for the sake of vote banks. This is a horrible thing which is happening. It's happening in our constituency over here. I request people to be able to convince their Muslim brothers and sisters, their neighbors. When I came into Hyderabad from Chennai, they told me, in this country, or in this city, we don't have Hindus and Muslims, we only have Hyderabadis. And from that state, political parties have changed. I mean, we should not allow this to happen. I don't want to see an old city in Chevella. I don't want to see a Pakistan in Chevella. Please tell your Muslim neighbors that BJP is about Antodaya. It's about taking everybody forward. It is not about removing reservation or segregating. It's about a uniform policy for everyone. Having said this, I want to really congratulate you and the organizers for this fantastic evening. and take your leave, because much as I would love to spend more time, I'm not going to be able to be here. So namaste and thank you all very much.
What is his style? What are the traits that he has that has taken this country to that extent?
I think whatever I'm able to gather from his colleagues, and there are a couple of them. I think one is he's a consensus builder, and very contrary to how he's believed to be, that people say he's a dictator. On the contrary, all his colleagues say such a listener. He's such an amazing listener. If you meet him, you will talk for like 70-80% of the time, then he will talk 10 to 15% of the time. That's one. Second, first being consensus builder. And second, I think he's amazing learner. And that's how his journey being. As I told you, for him, Bharatiya culture, Bharatiya darshan, Bharatiya cities, electioneering, to poverty, it's not a tuition class for him. Like many other leaders, they have to appoint tuition teachers that tell me poverty, tell me what is MSP, tell me what is MRP, tell me what is agriculture, right? Ganna upar ugta hai, niche ugta hai, aloo kahan ugta hai, right? All of that. So for many of the leaders, it's a tuition class. लोग कहते हैं कि नरेंद्र मोदी की फैमिली नहीं है. You know, for a typical RSS प्रचारक, you have to eat breakfast in one house, lunch in one house, and dinner in one house. So Narendra Modi has spent टाइम इन थाउजेंड्स ऑफ हाउसेस. उनको एक टीचर की लाइफ भी पता है, एक बैंकर की लाइफ भी पता है, एक इंडस्ट्रीज की लाइफ भी पता है, एक फार्मर की लाइफ भी पता है. आई थिंक दैट्स हाउ हम लोग कहते हैं ना नीचे से आए, बट व्हाट डज इट मीन? बिकॉज ही अंडरस्टैंड द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया. दैट्स व्हाई आई थिंक ही इज सो रिस्पॉन्सिव टू हाउ इंडिया इज ग्रोइंग करंटली. आई थिंक दैट्स हिज मेजर ट्रेट.
So I'd like to add to this, friends. You may not know that the 2030 vision that he has released, our Prime Minister, apparently he had 2,700 consultations with ministers and ministries. Can you imagine consultative process? 2,700 meetings he's had. So that is how.
And you know there's website called MyGov. You must have seen that website called MyGov, right? 90 to 95% of government logos came out of the competition which has ran through MyGov. It's not designed by the government, designed by one of you.
Yeah, I know. So last question before you can ask him is, the way opposition is behaving. For instance, recently the TMC leader was hoping, and he said it aloud, that the chopper that carries the Prime Minister, I hope it crashes. Someone from the Telangana Congress has used the deep fake to send out a wrong message of our Home Minister. I mean, why is that level of bile, vitriol, poison being thrown at our?
I think life was very easy for all these politicians before 2014. It was a very easy election. You appease the minority, you divide Hindus into castes and win the vote with 29-30% of vote.
Right.
Narendra Modi has made their life hell, right? So I think it's very obvious for them to hate Narendra Modi. Right? Electioning has become very, very difficult. Now you have to tell what you have done and what your vision will be.
Yeah.
And it was family politics all along, right? If you start from Kashmir, from Abdullahs to Yadavs to Gaudas to one family or the other, apart from left, which the only occasion I praise, apart from left and BJP, there's no other cadre-based party. If you saw JP Nadda, before that, who was the national president? Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Venkaiah Naidu, right? Narendra Modi had. None of them are related to each other. They are all chacha bhatija for each other. One from south, one from east, one from north. They are only going on merit. Otherwise, if I have to find the national president or the head of Congress, I have to do akkad bakkad bombay. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi. My finger will stop. That will be the president. Right? Because if I am the HR manager of Congress, I don't have a resource pool. Here now, a lot of people say, who after Narendra Modi? See, Narendra Modi is like Sachin Tendulkar. He will only decide when he will retire. But whenever he will retire, after 10 years, 15 years, he has created a battery of leaders.
Absolutely.
And see, anyone who is 60 has almost 15-20 years of politics left. There is Amit Shah who is only 59. There is a Yogi Adityanath who is only 52. There is Hemant Biswa only 55. There is Devendra Fadnavis only 54. There is Smriti Irani who is 48. There is Tejasvi Surya who is 29. And there is Annamalai who is 39. Right? There is I might have missed some name. There are a battery of leaders in every age group who can be the top leader. So he has created a battery of leaders while he was serving.
So no wonder they curse.
And there is Saina Nehwal there. 33% women reservation is coming. So all you women, right? By maximum by 2029 or 31, delimitation will happen. then people will keep looking for active women in society and politics. So get active today.
Okay, so thank you for your answers. I know, I mean, we can go on and on about Modi ji. I mean, as I said, there is an ocean of knowledge and he's done an ocean of good for the country. But if you have any of the questions that you'd like to throw,
Can there be a mic down? The question can be directed to any one of us.
I am Dr. M.V. Jagannatham, a retired scientist and a visiting professor at University of Hyderabad. Okay. So now my question is, governing is a very serious job. Okay, and what you have done, you have tried to put it in a comical fashion. If we look at historically, from Telugu land, there are two important people that I would like to bring it in two events. One is Tenali Ramakrishna, you might have heard of his name. Because governing is a very, very serious job. The king used to have a person like him, and he is equally competent enough to advise the governor. Okay,
That's a lovely example.
yeah. So you have done 100 questions here. Not one things why we should vote for BJP. Okay, or government. I will certainly tell that electing BJP is not for the formation of a government at Delhi. Electing BJP is for making New India. That is the purpose. Having said that, now my question to you, you have said 101 things on praising Modi. For example, in a comical fashion, like a Shatavdhanam. Shatavdhanam means there will be 100 questions and they will be answering all the 100. This is also a Telugu literature event feast.
impossible.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have to give a comical criticism to Narendra Modi like Tenali Ramakrishna or Birbal, so what is the kind of thing that you look at it and what is your critique on Narendra Modi?
Yeah. I think first criticism should be that he should take care of his health. We want him for many more years. Because recently in an interview he said he sleeps very less. Second thing, I think very interestingly, a lot of people criticize, there is a single point where both the sides are criticizing Modi. So वो लोग कहते हैं नरेंद्र मोदी ने पूरे भारत को हिंदू कर दिया. And a lot of hardcore Hindus saying अभी तो उन्होंने हिंदू करा ही नहीं है पूरा. अभी तो टेम्पल कंट्रोल मिलना है वापस. अभी तो करिकुलम को पूरा हिंदू होना है. अभी तो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आना है. अभी तो मथुरा का टेम्पल वापस आना है. अभी तो काशी का टेम्पल वापस आना है. So I'm thinking it's a work in progress, but the work in progress itself is so beautiful that I have to write a book, right? So I'm sure after 10 years I'll write one more book that will compile all of that.
Sir, I am Ram Mohan Nagile, retired chief manager of Union Bank. My precise question is that political parties declare their manifesto before elections. After winning, losing को छोड़ दीजिए. After winning, part of it, or whatever is feasible and possible, they implement. There is something like reverse migration. Reverse migration, upwards. My point is that in the ballot paper, instead of blanketly giving a power to any political party, along with that, there should be a flexibility option open to the voter to write at least one suggestion, one recommendation, one demand that the winning party should govern this way. Even if one is taken across so many voters, I think that should be the manifesto of any winning party to implement it.
See,
Why are we not thinking on that line?
See, I think you're talking about crowdsourcing of suggestions, and that's what I think Karunaji was telling, that how while making the manifesto, making the policies, a lot of consultation is done. And that's first time is happening that a lot of from new education policy to various other policies is done after consultation. As I told you, MyGov is a website, and India ranked very high in the consultative governance in the UN index. You were saying about writing suggestions while voting, then we have to go to the ballot papers, which is technically may not be possible. And see, it's possible, I'm sure it's possible technically, but it will take, we remember those ballot paper rigging days, and let's not fall in the trap of opposition of avoiding EVM. EVM is the best technology available. That's why we get the result by 2 o'clock on the counting day. But I think crowdsourcing of the information is a very valid suggestion.
So, just to answer your question, I was a part of the National Manifesto Committee for the General Elections 2019, and I had done crowdsourcing, process, and we got thousands and lakhs. Even this time, I had meetings like this, and people continued to give us. And in fact, I think in the entire country, Hyderabad gave more because we consulted more, we went to more industry bodies, we went to everyone. All that is a process. Just for your information, I had done the consultation crowdsourcing for the city of Hyderabad, for the logo of Hyderabad in year 2005. And we got it. It was Asaduddin who changed the logo from a beautiful logo to a little like the masjid. That happened in 2005. So we are not new to all this. I think BJP is one party that really implements all these things. So happy to be with the party.
Sir, just now you told us that Modi ji is a consensus builder. But sir, I want to know why Modi ji failed to get consensus among the farmers' leaders for the farmers' bill, agriculture bill.
I think you're right. You're right. See, in a family of 4 or 5, we are not able to make consensus, right? This is a country of 140 million people. In multiple things, he got the consensus. Multiple things, he did not get the consensus, right? So I think we can take the exception out. That's fine. But APMC and lot of other traits of those 3 farmers bills are anyway used in multiple forms. So consultative process will keep going on. That's the trait of Narendra Modi in his small works and big policies. Yeah, I'm saying some when you run a country as large as India, in 90-95% of the processes you pass, and some you fail. Remember when he took down the 3 farm bills, what he said? उन्होंने बोला मैं देश के लिए लाया था, किसानों के नाम पे वापस ले रहा हूँ, right? So he said he still agrees with the farm laws, but he's not able to convince to a farmer to 2 states. It's not the farmers of the whole country, the farmers of 2 states, and I'm sure in long run he will to convince them also.
Yeah, in fact, many farmers from South India and many other farmers who were actually wanted that. It's just the farmers of 2 states and also the middlemen, the richest farmers did not want those. So I think we lost it. So that's a poor example of not having consensus.
Hello, Shantanu ji. I am Govindraj from Hyderabad. I have just recently retired from IT, and I was just quickly glancing through your book, and you have noted down almost every achievement of Modi ji which he has achieved in the last 10 years, which one family which has ruled us in 62 years could not achieve. He has achieved. You have covered that. But I was expecting to see you mentioning about Article 370 abrogation, because that is one of the major achievements which Modi ji has achieved.
Yeah.
I will tell you I'll tell you my recent experience when I was traveling from Hyderabad to Bangalore in Rajdhani Express, and there was one CRPF constable who was returning from Srinagar to Bangalore. And when I just had a casual chat with him, and I told him, when he mentioned that he was posted in Srinagar, I said that could be a very risky posting. He said yes, till a few years back it was very risky,
lovely.
Because every house had at least 3 to 4 gun-toting people. And now he says there is not a single house which has a gun.
Yeah.
This is the achievement of Modi ji.
So 370 is mentioned in the cultural renaissance theme. When I'm talking about the renovation of Sharda temple in Kashmir, I mentioned about 370. And I'm sure if you have not watched the movie 370, do go and watch. I think now it's available on Netflix. So go and watch the movie. It's amazingly made.
Thank you, sir.
I'm R.R. Koti from
Time, yeah,
Hyderabad.
yeah.
This question is for Mr. Gupta garu. A passing reference was made that you are the spokesperson for Ramdev Baba.
No, I was a couple of years back. Yeah.
No, okay, well, fine. The latest episode, do you feel that it's a judicial overreach in trying to castigate Ayurveda as a whole?
So I think I also feel so. I think one is the judicial verdict and then the commentary. When I think judge said, okay, I'll rip you off. I think there was no need to, because that's not even a legal language, right? And the case was filed by, I think, Indian Marketing Association,
No,
right?
Indian Medical
what?
Association.
Indian Medical Association. And there are a group of lot of pharma companies. There are a group of lot of like a semi-pharma companies, and they're a big lobby. He has made lot of them out of business, right? So there's a lobby that working against Ayurveda, the traditional Indian medicine, and the judge's comment was literally out of line of the legal vocabulary also. Yeah. Whatever the legal jurisdiction, I'm sure that will happen. Whatever the fine may happen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Now, I think the point now, a lot of people will PILs against them also. I think they have opened a Pandora's box against them also.
एक्सक्यूज सर, जब पूरा भारत में जब नुपुर शर्मा जी का इश्यू हो रहा था, कोई बोल रहा था कि धर्मराज मौन थे, अर्जुन भी मौन थे, नकुल सहदेव भी मौन थे, भीम भी मौन थे, सब कुछ मौन थे। पर कब ये इंसाफ मिलेगा? क्योंकि हमारा ही सरकार है, हमारे ऊपर ही जुल्म हो रहा है। और जब फैक्ट्स बात करें तो खुद इतना बड़ा सरकार भी झुक गया, क्यों ऐसे?
See, as I told you in an earlier answer, running a family of 4 and 5 becomes difficult, right? And running a country of 140 crore people, it's a tough task. Whenever Nupur Sharma said what she said, she got a lot of fatwas, and the day she got amazing protection. And good news, it was her birthday, she was a good friend. It was her birthday, I think 1 or 2 days back, and she was in public distributing puri chole in the Delhi, streets of Delhi. She's attending a lot of public events, so she's out in public. And I'm sure the cameras are recording, but I don't mind. I'm not formally from BJP. Very soon you'll see a very good career for Nupur Sharma. That incident has made her jump couple of years of ladder in her political career.
Yeah, last two questions, please.
Hello.
Yes,
If you
please
know
go ahead,
astrology,
sir.
you say it.
Ask your question.
Somebody's time.
My question is for Saina ma'am. The Emerging Bharat event celebrates India's progress. How do you see sports contributing to India's growth and development both on and off the field?
I think sports is something which is very important to the country क्योंकि हमारे पास I have mentioned it many times, we have a lot of scientists, doctors, engineers, मेरे पापा भी scientist हैं, but sports persons कम हैं, and I feel bad when lot of youngsters come up to me and say कि north में academies नहीं है, अभी development of course better है लेकिन उतना नहीं है जितना मतलब लोग वहाँ पे खेलना चाहते हैं। बट लास्ट 4-5 ईयर्स में जैसे एक दो एकेडमी आई थिंक नोएडा में आ गई है, फिर यूपी में और भी बहुत ज़्यादा एकेडमीज़ लखनऊ में हैं, फिर दिल्ली में एक दो आ गई हैं, फिर अपने गुजरात में बहुत सारी एकेडमीज़ हैं, हरियाणा में मुझे लगता है पंचकुला में एक एकेडमी चल रही है, बट और बहुत बातें हो रही हैं। तो ये एकेडमीज़ जो अब आ रही है लास्ट 10 ईयर्स में आती तो अभी तो नॉर्थ इंडिया छा जाता क्योंकि वहाँ पे इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग प्लेयर्स हैं। मुझे जो पूछते रहते थे ना उनका जो यूपी से भी इतने तगड़े लोग हैं ना, वो ऐसा खाना भी देखो उनका इतना अच्छा खाते हैं, आप उनसे मिलके 6 फीट के रहते हैं, तगड़े रहते हैं, अगर वो प्लेयर्स बन जाए तो कैसा करेंगे वो लोग। वो अभी आप देखिए अब सब प्लेयर्स आना चाह रहे हैं, उनको खेलने का मौका मिल रहा है, कोचेज़ आ रहे हैं, गुवाहाटी में इतनी बड़ी एकेडमी खुली है, बाहर के कोचेज़ आ रहे हैं। तो ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि वो सोच रहे हैं कि स्पोर्ट्स को हम आगे बढ़ाएं, स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन, और क्योंकि जब चाइना 60-70 मेडल्स ला सकता है देन व्हाई नॉट इंडिया। इंडिया के तो कितना टैलेंट है और इतने सारे स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन है जो अच्छा कर रहे हैं। एंड अभी मैंने वो आपको मेंशन भी किया, मोदी सर इज़ लाइक 36 के ओलंपिक्स लेके ही आना है इंडिया में, और इट्स इम्पॉसिबल टास्क, लेकिन वो पॉसिबल करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि उनका एक दैट इज़ वाई आई लाइक हिम, क्योंकि वो जो बोलते हैं उसे करने के लिए पूरा ट्राई करते हैं। बाकी तो भगवान के हाथ में है होगा कि नहीं होगा, बट ही ट्राइज इज लेवल बेस्ट, और अगर पॉसिबल हुआ देन आई थिंक इट विल बी अ ग्रेट थिंग फॉर दी जो यंगस्टर्स मुझे आके बोलते हैं दीदी मुझे साइना बनना है, तो वो तो पॉसिबल है क्योंकि उनके सामने इतने बेस्ट प्लेयर्स आके खेलेंगे, नॉट ओनली बैडमिंटन बट हर एक स्पोर्ट खेलेंगे। और मुझे लगता है कि जो भी बच्चे हैं उन सबको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलनी चाहिए कि जाके वो ओलंपिक्स देखें, तभी तो मतलब और इंटरेस्ट बढ़ता है।
Good evening, gentlemen. In this August gathering, I have taken a privilege to ask a question, sir. I'm North. We are seeing a lot of parity in development. There is a divide. In entire Telangana, we find only one airport. Otherwise, in North, if you take UP, 8 airports are there. Like all other states, we have a lot of airports, I see some divide with regard to how Modi will bridge up this north and south gap, madam.
I think this is a very artificial definition created by some politician north-south. When Adi Shankara started from south, he west to west, east, north, all. When I talk about all the 12 Jyotirlings, they are available in all parts of the country. When I talk about 51 Shakti Peeths, they are available in all parts of the country, right? When I say any technology company, TCS to Infosys, I'm sure there'll be if there is any festival, there'll be people from every state. So this is a very artificial divide done for a political reason. But now increasingly we need double engine governments, right? Lot of proposals start from the state and then they become the proposal at the center, even to the airport. I remember, because I'm the biographer of Yogi Adityanath ji, I got the opportunity to sit in one of the meetings. And in his very first meeting, he said, UP had 8 airports today, but UP had only 2 airports 7 years back. 2 functioning airports. There had the airstrips where only Air Force or some other VIP planes used to land. It was only Banaras and Lucknow. Now there are multiple airports. You know what Narendra Modi said? मैं हवाई चप्पल पहनने वाले को भी हवाई जहाज में बिठवाऊंगा. And that's happening. That's happening. Now you can go to Shirdi in a day and come back. You can go to a Prayag in a day and come back. You can go to a Jhansi and come back. You can go to Gorakhpur and come back. You can go to Kanpur and come back within a day. Which was not, yeah, and also roads also. India has added, as Sangeeta was telling, 55,000 kilometers of national highway, right? India has added 11,000 kilometers of national railway and 75 airports, right? So now I think we need strong local governments along with a strong national government. That's Narendra Modi fondly said, double engine ki sarkar.
I think this is very well said, very well said. We need, the reason why we don't have much of infrastructure is because of other governments being here. I'll give you one example. For Hyderabad, when Congress and also BRS were arguing, saying that there's no line 2 of monorail, MMTS line 2, they said central government is not giving, but that is not the truth, my friends. Government of India has given 1350 crores, 1,350 crores, that is lying with the state government, but 229 crores were put by the state government, not more. So the project could not take off. So several times you see that whenever the fund comes from the center, there's no matching from the state, and therefore the infrastructure is not developing. So it's no fault. If you have double engine, 100% you will see all kinds of development.
Yes, last but one question.
Namaskar, I'm Krishna Vanshika. I'm right now studying in 10th grade in Sri Vidyaranya International School. And I have a question.
You are the real target for my book.
Thank you so much. See, now Bharat is a country which gets influenced very easily. The youth of the country is in the hands of the media or whatever is going in the country centrally. Now, the most thing that Bharat is right now facing is that these norms that they say about dictatorship in the rule of Shri Narendra Modi ji, which I really don't agree with, because if it were dictatorship, then you can see Telangana itself, we won't be even there with this type of government right now. So my question is, do you agree, Shantanu ji, about dictatorship in India? Because if it were really there, then these meetings won't be here, nor even those type of YouTube channels. I can take their name, I Am Brave, Dhruv Rathi and all. They won't even have the courage to speak like that.
That's a good question, yeah.
So what do you think about that?
See, if Narendra Modi is a dictator, he's a very bad dictator. You know why? If he's a dictator, how can in Shaheen Bagh hundreds and thousands of people can block Delhi for all months together? How can farmers can come and put almost a Khalistani looking flag on Red Fort and there was no firing, right? If Narendra Modi is a dictator, how can likes of Dhruv Rathi and Ravish Kumar and likes Pranab Bhushan Bajpayee can survive? I have done 5,000 TV debates in last 7-8 years. In every debate I sit, there will be 5 people who are criticizing Narendra Modi. If there are 2 people who are praising Narendra Modi, there are 2 people who are criticizing Narendra Modi. There is no thought, there is no criticism of Narendra Modi which is not available open there, right? Versus outside India, how the voices are curbed. So I think because as I told before, Narendra Modi has shut the shops of many, right? which were getting government junkets, government money, government houses. Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan was awarded by lobbying because he had shut a lot of shops. There will be a very natural animosity, and they will say dictatorship, democracy खतरे में है, all of that, right? But they are surrogates कि मेरी राजनीति खतरे में है. They just say democracy खतरे में है.
I wish to add to this. I have written an article on debunking Dhruv Rathi's claim that India is under a dictator. You can read it. It was reposted almost 10,000 times in 1 hour on Twitter. And this particular one simple thing I'll say, people like Dhruv Rathi, they sit in a country like Germany that actually is a dictatorship and not a democracy at all. He doesn't know that when farmers came onto the streets in Germany, within an hour they were put behind bars. And when a single girl criticized the government in Germany, she was picked up and put behind bars. That is what is dictatorship. And as Shantanu is saying, we are extremely tolerant, especially Modi ji is very, very tolerant. Maybe the country needs a benevolent dictator, and that is what he is.
Oh my God. Sani is saying, who is Dhruv Rathi? Dhruv Rathi will die today.
अगर उनको बट अब लॉट ऑफ उनके बारे में सुन रही हूँ मैंने, ऑब्वियसली उनके अभी तक देखे नहीं है व्हाट ही सेज एंड व्हाट नॉट, बट मुझे उतना इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है क्योंकि जो मोदी के सामने लड़ रहे हैं, आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट पर्सन. क्योंकि क्यों नहीं आता अभी तक मुझे ये भी नहीं पता है कि उनके सामने लड़ कौन रहे हैं. आई डोंट नो हु इज़ द एग्जैक्ट पर्सन हु विल बी द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया अगर लड़ भी रहे हैं तो अब ध्रुव राठी को लेके वो लड़ना चाह रहे हैं, देन आई डोंट नो. बट अगर आपको सच्ची लड़ाई लड़नी है देन यू शुड कम अब फील्ड में आके लड़ो ना, आप पीछे से क्या लड़ रहे हो. सो बहुत सारा कुछ उनके बारे में सुना है, ट्विटर भरा पड़ा है आई थिंक उनके बारे में, बट आई डोंट नो वो है कौन. इंडिया में आके लड़ो, लड़ना है तो बाहर बैठ के तो 1000 लोग बोलते हैं, आई मीन वहाँ पे बैठ के तो कोई भी बोल लेगा.
And beta, what you do, go back and search what happened in universities of United States in last 1 week. वहाँ सारी यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपसेस में प्रो पैलेस्टीन मूवमेंट्स हुए एंड मल्टीपल स्टूडेंट्स आर डीबार्ड. जो लोग पीएचडी के अपने 5th ईयर में देयर पीएचडीज आर कैंसल्ड. पुलिस केप डाउन एंड लॉक्ड अप लॉट ऑफ पीपल. हमारे यहाँ तो जेएनयू में बोलते हैं भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह, एंड दे आर स्टिल सर्वाइविंग, राइट. सो सी हाउ डिक्टेटोरियल a so-called democratic government in the United States in last 1 week.
अब मैं आईटी फील्ड में काम करता हूँ, ओके. सो मेरे ऑफिस में और मेरे फ्रेंड सर्कल में मैं बहुत ज़्यादा इस मामले में फेमस या नेगेटिव हूँ कि मैं मोदी भक्त हूँ. तो इस समय करंटली हमारे एज ग्रुप के लोगों में 2 नैरेटिव बहुत कॉमन चल रहे हैं. पहला वॉशिंग पाउडर, वॉशिंग मशीन, वॉशिंग पाउडर, ये वाला नैरेटिव आई थिंक आपको मालूम होगा. दूसरा नैरेटिव चल रहा है कि मैं मिडिल क्लास हूँ, मैं टैक्स पेयर हूँ, मेरे को मोदी क्या दिया रहे. तो मेरे जैसे मोदी भक्तों को आप कुछ एम्यूनिशन दीजिए सो दैट वी कैन काउंटर देम. वी कैन टेल देम दैट बॉस इनफ इज इनफ, गो वोट एंड वोट फॉर लोटस.
So you got 2 very interesting questions and we face this on TV channels every day. I think if you read the book and do take a copy, we have a couple of complimentary copies. Do take a copy and you can find enough for the middle class, right. I think on the washing machine, I think what they mean exactly for everyone कि कोई करप्ट होता है, बीजेपी में आता है और फिर उसके केसेस बंद हो जाते हैं. I think I have 2-3 answers to it. I think one, when you're waging a war, right, one, you have to strengthen yourself, and second, you have to weaken the opposition party. That's a typical war strategy. So a lot of people are inducted just to weaken the political party, weaken the other political party, right? And you have seen in last 10 years, a lot of such people who came to BJP, very few survived. They came to 1 term and they backed off, right? Because they were not able to कमाओ पैसा इन बीजेपी. So they अरे तो पॉलिटिक्स का फायदा ही नहीं, यहाँ पे तो काम करना पड़ता है, यहाँ तो टीवी पे जाना पड़ता है, यहाँ तो लोगों के बीच में जाना पड़ता है. So they anyway, if they don't come from a typical BJP कार्यकर्ता अंत्योदय kind of philosophy, they anyway back off. And second thing, anyone on TV, he puts any charge on anyone. The litmus test is, are you going to the court the next day or not? Then TV में बोलना बहुत आसान है. If you remember Kejriwal, right? He's in jail currently. 10 years back, ऑन रामलीला ग्राउंड ही यूज्ड टू कैरी फ्रॉम बंच ऑफ पेपर्स. पता नहीं उसमें लिखा क्या होता था. वो होता था मैं शीला दीक्षित को जेल में डालूंगा, मैं लालू प्रसाद को जेल में डालूंगा, मैं शरद पवार को जेल में डालूंगा, मैं मुलायम सिंह यादव को जेल में डालूंगा. जस्ट 2 weeks बैक सारे लोग रामलीला मैदान में फिर आए. उसमें लालू प्रसाद यादव भी था, उनका लड़का भी था, मुलायम सिंह का लड़का भी था, सोनिया गांधी भी थी, जिनको केजरीवाल जेल में जाने वाले थे. आज केजरीवाल तो नहीं थे, उनकी धर्मपत्नी थी. सब लोग मिलकर कह रहे थे केजरीवाल को जेल से बाहर निकालो. कैन यू इमेजिन द 180 डिग्री शिफ्ट. तो देखिए, बोलना, ट्विटर पे बोलना बहुत आसान होता है. कांग्रेस एंड एवरी पार्टी हैज अ बैटरी ऑफ लॉयर्स. लगाइए ना, एक एक लोग 20-20 लाख रुपए लेते हैं. मनु सिंघवी को लगाइए, अभी केजरीवाल के लॉयर है. जो भी वो टीवी में बोलते हैं कि बीजेपी ने ये करा, स्कैंडल ने करा, कोर्ट में लेके जाइए, कोर्ट में लेके जाइए. राइट. रिसेंटली अ क्लिप ऑफ सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी इज गेटिंग वायरल. लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु वेंट टू जेल फ्रॉम लालू प्रसाद टू कलमाडी टू राजा, दे ऑल वेंट जेल बिफोर 2014. There are multiple inquiries before multiple politicians before 2014, right?
देखिए, मैं फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम टूर्नामेंट्स में थे, मेरा नी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम में चल रहा था, उस टाइम पे सिचुएशन चल रहा था. लेकिन व्हाट आई कैन से एज ए स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन, हम उनके साथ हैं, हम लड़कियों के साथ डेफिनेटली हैं. बुरा हुआ है तो हमें भी बुरा लगता है. लेकिन टीवी पे बैठ के तो सब चीज़ें जैसे कि चलती रहती है, तो मैं सबको मानने लगी, तो फिर मैं किसका साथ दूँ, तो मैं कंफ्यूज हो जाऊँगी. या तो मुझे वहाँ होना चाहिए एंड आई हैव टू सी कि क्या हुआ है. मैं टीवी पे बैठ के आपके साथ बुरा हुआ आप बोल देंगे तो मैं आपका साथ देने लग जाऊँगी, बिना सोच के कि वो जो अपोजिशन है उसका क्या प्रॉब्लम है, उसने क्या गलत किया है. तो या तो मैं वहाँ पे रहूँ और देखूँ कि क्या गलत हुआ है उनके साथ और अंडरस्टैंड करूँ, या प्रूफ हो मेरे पास ऐसा कुछ कि कुछ हुआ है जिससे बहुत बुरी चीज़ हुई है और मुझे भी गंदा लगेगा एज ए स्पोर्ट्स वुमेन अगर ऐसा हुआ है मेरे साथ. मैं डेफिनेटली उनके साथ हूँ. अगर इतना ज़्यादा दुख है उनको, वो रोने भी लग गए हैं, तो मैं उनके साथ हमेशा उनके साथ हूँ. लेकिन फाइनली एंड क्या हुआ है उसका मुझे खुद पता नहीं है. एंड हो भी गया है वो टॉपिक और अब आ भी नहीं रहा है. अगर इतना प्रॉब्लम है तो वो कंटिन्यू भी रहता, राइट. वो टॉपिक ख़त्म भी हो चुका है और वो वापस खेलने भी लग गए हैं. मुझे बस ये बुरा लगा कि एज ए स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन आपका 2 years ख़राब हो गया है. जो आप क्रिकेटर तो नहीं हो कि आप एवरीडे कमा रहे हो. आपके टूर्नामेंट्स आते हैं, मंथली 1-2 टूर्नामेंट रहते हैं, तो आप उसकी मेहनत करके, जी जान मेहनत करके आप टाइटल्स लेके आते हो. लेकिन 2 साल वैसे ही बैठ के थोड़ा सा सिचुएशन ख़राब जो भी हुई है, दुख मुझे भी हुआ है, लेकिन आपने अपना करियर मिस कर दिया है. और बाकी अब वापस कम बैक करने में डिफ़िकल्ट होता है क्योंकि 2 साल आप अलग रहे हो स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन. वो जो आपको ओपोनेंट है उसने काफ़ी तैयारी कर ली है, वो बेटर भी कर रहा है और आपने वही टाइम मिस कर दिया है, तो कम बैक करने में टाइम लगता है. तो एज ए स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन मुझे उस चीज़ का बहुत बुरा लगा कि आपने अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया और मुझे उसके लिए ज़्यादा रोना आता है. बाकी तो ऑब्वियसली लड़कियों के साथ बुरा हुआ है तो मैं डेफिनेटली पूरे मन से उनके साथ हूँ. जी, अवार्ड वापस ये सब मैं उतना ध्यान नहीं देती हूँ. एक प्लेयर का करियर होता है उसकी जीत से, अवार्ड से नहीं. जितना आप जीते हो, अवार्ड तो आते रहते जाते रहते.
थैंक यू.
ఈ వీడియో మీకు నచ్చినట్టయితే లైక్ చేయండి, 10 మందికి షేర్ చేయండి. అలాగే కామెంట్ల రూపంలో మీ అభిప్రాయాలను మాతో పంచుకోండి. నేషనలిస్ట్ హబ్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఛానల్స్ ను సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకుని తెలుగునాట జాతీయవాద జర్నలిజాన్ని ప్రోత్సహించండి. ఈ వీడియో కింద ఉన్న బెల్ ఐకాన్ పై క్లిక్ చేయడం మర్చిపోవద్దు.